Welcome everyone to this tutorial of Selenium. In today's tutorial, we will learn what are locators in Selenium by using the findElementBy keyword, as well as we will learn how to click on a particular button or elements and enter values into a text box. So without wasting any time, let us get started. Automating elements in a web page is a two-step process. Step number one is uniquely identifying the element. Example, I need to uniquely identify this text box in order to enter the value admin inside of it. Now this is true for all the elements which are present inside of the web page which you want to work on. Step number two is action. You need to perform the right action on the right element. Now here I can enter value inside of a text box, but I cannot enter value in a button. That will throw me an error. So by using these two steps, which is identification and action, you can perform automation in a web page. Now for the very first step, which is identification, Selenium will give you 8 different identifiers. They are as follows. So these are the 8 identifiers, that is by ID, by name, by class name, LinkText, PartialLinkText, TagName, XPath and CSS. From these eight identifiers, also called as locators, we will be learning the first 6 today. The XPath and CSS selector we will be looking at in the further tutorials. We will now learn how to view the properties of any element in your application like a button or a text box so that you can then decide which of these 8 locators to be used in Selenium. Now for testing, I have an application called as Orange HRM. Whenever I use any test application, I will be providing the link in the description below, so you can use that. And the browser of my choice will be Chrome, because I personally feel that Chrome gives you a lot of tools which will help you in inspecting the elements. Yes, this process of viewing the properties of individual elements is also called as inspecting the elements. Now that said, you can use any other browser and the steps will be relatively the same. In order to inspect the properties of any element on your web page, simply right click on the particular element like this and choose the option called inspect. Once you do that, you will be able to see a console. This console is also called as your developer tools, and the property of that element which you have selected will be highlighted in this console below like this. The other way you can do so is by clicking the F12 key on your keyboard, and once you do that, you will again get the console window or the developer tools, but this time the element is not selected. To do that, you have to choose this inspect tool right here, which is grayed out. Once you click on it, it will become in the blue color, and then you move your mouse to the element of your choice. As you see, all the elements are getting highlighted. So I want to choose this text box, and once you click on it, you will see that the properties of this text box is highlighted right here. So the very first thing that we learn is if that particular element has got a property called ID, so your ID is equal to txtUsername, then we can go with the very first option, which is the very first locator, that is find elements by using the ID. We'll look at this, how to do so. We will now open up Eclipse to write this piece of code. So let me open up Eclipse. Now what I've done in Eclipse is I've opened up Chrome and I've navigated to the website, which is this same one right here. Now what we'll do next is we are going to identify this text box by using ID, and we'll save this text box as a web element. Why web element? Because in Selenium, everything that you see in the browser is basically a web element. So let me open up Eclipse again and let me create an object of web element. So type in web element. Now make sure that since Java is case sensitive, your W and E characters should be in uppercase. Now give any object name of your choice. Let me give a name as username, and I'll set it equal to driver.findElement by. Now note that there are two options here. One is find element, the other is find elements. Make sure you're selecting the first one, which is find element, and not find elements, otherwise that might throw you an error. So choose the option find element. Now what this does is it is going to find the web element for you by using one of the 8 techniques. So these are the 8 techniques, and we will be using the first one, which is By.id. So let me come back here and inside of the parentheses type in by with B being in uppercase, do a dot here, and you will be looking at all of the 8 identifiers right here. So choose the one which is ID, and inside of the parentheses, inside double quotes, because it should be a string, you type in the ID which you have got by inspecting on the web element, and that for us was the text username. So I'll copy that and paste it inside of the parentheses, and as in Java, everything should be ending with a semicolon. Now your web element here is in red because I have not imported it. So you can do the same if an error is coming. Choose the option import from Selenium, and it will be imported above, which is right here. So in this way, I have created a web element or saved a web element by using the identifier called as By.id. Now using this particular web element, I can perform the action of entering text into the text box by simply typing in the object, which is username, pressing a dot, and choosing the option called as sendKeys. So sendKeys is used to enter something into a text box. So let me give a string inside of it, and that string is going to be the username. The username is admin, so let me copy the username, come back to our code, and let me print admin. So I have saved the web element. I have done web element dot sendKeys and admin. Now let me save this and let me run this as a Java application, and upon execution you will be looking at the exact same thing happening. So here we go, Chrome opens up, it navigates to the web page, and admin is entered right here. Let me zoom in to show you. As you see, admin is entered right here. I am not performing driver.quit because I want you all to see the output. Otherwise the browser would open and it would close. A quick note guys, you do not have to actually save your web element and then perform webElement.sendKeys. You can perform this directly itself. Now here what I'm doing is I am finding the web element and then saving it in username. So let me remove off this piece of code here. And what I'll do is I'm going to find the web element, and instead of ending the line, I'm going to type in dot sendKeys right here itself and perform the sendKeys admin right here. So now I do not need this piece of code, and this is what you usually see in most of your web pages, which is driver.findElement by. This is basically a web element, and web element dot sendKeys, which is admin. We will have a quick look at the other identifier, also called as your locator. We have looked at by ID, we'll now look at by name. So let me open up the application, let me use the select tool or the spy tool, and let me spy on the password field this time. And if you can see, the password field also has an ID and a name. So let me copy the name attribute, which is txtPassword. Now a quick note, this span here which you see is basically the text that is visible inside of your text box. So span is basically tags, and this input right here is your text box field. At the end of the session I will just go through a few common tags, so it will be helpful for those who are new to HTML. So let me come to the Java code here and let me paste this as a comment. Now to comment something, just double / and type what you want. That piece of code will not be executed, so you can use these comment lines to tell something about your code. For example, I can just put a double / here and write, this is to enter text in the username field. So this is helpful for those who are looking at your code, so it will help them understand what your code does, and they are not executed. So what I'll write here is driver in the exact same way, right? So driver dot find element, the keyword or the class called by dot, and this time we'll use by name because we have used ID last time. Let me copy this attribute and let me paste it inside the name tag. Here we go, and dot send keys, and let me type in the password of the application, which is admin123. So let me paste this. So here we go. Now we have entered the username and we have entered the password. Now last what we'll do is we have to click on this login button right here. So let me spy on this button as well. Now as you see, it has got a name called submit and ID called button login. So you can use any one of them. I prefer to go with ID if possible. So let me copy the ID. Let me type the exact same thing again. So driver.findElement by ID and type the ID which you have just copied. This is the ID for the button. Now sendKeys is used to enter text. Click is used to click something. So dot click. Let me save this and let me run the code. And now you will see that it enters admin as a username, admin123 as a password, and then it will click on the login button. So here we go. And your login will take place. Let me close this. A quick note guys, when I was inspecting this button here, I also got an attribute called class is equal to button. And if you look at the list of locators, I also have by class name. So yes, you can use a class name as well. So to do that, you copy your class name like this. You go here, instead of by ID, let me change this to class name and let me paste the value and it will work. But in my personal experience, I prefer you do not use class for identifying a single object. Why is that? You see guys, when you're using Selenium, the values should be unique. What I mean is, if I'm giving the attribute called ID is equal to button login, there has to be only one element in your web page with ID is equal to button login. If there are more than one, it will throw you an error. And usually when developers give the attribute called class, they give it for more than one element. Usually, sometimes yes, like in this case, I have only one button called login with a class called button. But normally that is not the case. So I prefer you go for ID and then you go for name, and when these two things do not work, then you can try to go for class. Now that said, how are you going to find out if an attribute is unique or not? So to do that, you simply copy your attribute like this. You inside this window right here, you click anywhere and press Ctrl F. That will bring up this find thing here and paste the particular value. Now if you see, I've got two elements having the button login, and if I hit enter, you will see the other one as well. Now this is different. So I can tell that there's only one element with ID is equal to button. The same way, if I type for the class is equal to button, I will be able to see that there are four elements. The first one is not correct. Its ID is equal to div button login, so this is not counted. The other one is what we are looking at right now. The next one is type is equal to button, which is not the one which you want. And the last one is a comment itself. So again, in this case, the class here is unique. So this is how you're going to find out if an attribute is unique or not in your web page. But again, I prefer you not to use classes. So now we look at the other ones, which is by LinkText and by PartialLinkText. Just make a quick note, there's an easier way to verify if an attribute is unique or not, and that is by using XPath. But we will be learning XPaths in the later sessions and not today. Now with that said, we'll look at the LinkText and the PartialLinkText again. And as the name suggests, they are to be used only for links. So when you open up an application like this and you see a link, the first thing you have to do is verify if this is a link or not. So you right click on it and choose inspect, and you verify the tag of this element. Now tags are basically the first letter or the first word after your bracket. So you see a bracket here, the tag here is a div tag, and for this link here I have got the tag called as the anchor tag specified by the letter A. So if it has anything other than the letter A here, it is not a link, and if it is not a link, you cannot use the link text and the partial link text on it. Now the very first one, which is by the locator by using the link text. So as the name suggests, you can just copy the text name and use that locator. But sometimes you'll find out that the text that you see on the screen may be different from the actual text. Okay, so the best way to do so is you copy the text which is in between the anchor brackets. So the anchor tag starts here and the anchor tag ends here. The brackets are ending here and ending here. So copy the text in between this. So this is the actual text. You copy this, you come to your code and you type in driver.findElement by the link text, and you type the text which you have just copied, and then you can do a dot click. So what we'll do is, this is the application. When you click on it, it is going to navigate to this page called as orange HRM forget your password page. Let me come back here. Now let me comment off this piece of code here. Now you can do that by typing in the comment like this manually, or the easier way would be just select your entire text that you want to comment off and type in control and / which is just besides a shift key. So with that done, the entire code is commented which you have selected. So now let me run this piece of code and you will see that everything will work fine. Here we go, the code runs, the application opens up, and here we go to the forget password page. Now in the same way, you can either give the entire text, or you can give a part of the text. Like I can just give this part of the text called as password. Just make sure that there is no other links that has the text called as password inside of it. If it has, then it is not going to work. It has to be unique. Okay, so let me copy this text here called password, which is which is just a partial text. Let me paste it here. So now what I'll do is, instead of typing the link text, I'm going to give here partial link text. So this is our last locator, which is partial link text, in which we do not have to give the entire text but only a part of the text. So let me save this, and when you run it, you will see that the code works fine as well. Here we go, the application opens up and you should be navigated to the forget password page. We have one more locator, which is your find by tag name. Now tag name basically is these things right here, the div, your a scroll more on top, you will be seeing span, etc. So these all are your tags, and just as your class name, your tags name is not something which should be used to identify single elements. They can be used for identifying a group of elements. For example, if you need to find out the total number of links on a page or total number of images which are there on a web page, for that we can use tags, and we'll learn that in the further tutorials when we are looking at find elements with an S. Now with that said, for those who are new to HTML as well, just note this. Now I'm clicking on this spy and I'm spying on this text box right here. Now I see this particular tag right here called input with name, ID, etc. We'll now learn what this actually means. So let me just do one thing. Let me just maximize this a bit. And if you see this entire thing here, this is your HTML code. So what do I mean by this? Now in any web page, your HTML code is sent to your browser. Your browser then converts it to a page. So whenever you spy on any element, what we see is the HTML code for that particular element. And this is the entire HTML code. Now as I said before, everything in a web page is a web element. So all of this input here is a web element, and this web element is present inside another web element called as div, and this is present inside another web element called as form. So your web elements can have elements inside of it as well. So just note these two things, that everything inside a web page is a web element, and your web elements can have web elements inside of it. Now with that said, when I spied on this, I got this tag right here, right, called input tag with these particular values. So let me open up the PowerPoint again. So this is the tag that we had seen. In this web element, the very first character or the word after your bracket is called as your tag. And everything in between your square brackets, such as your name is equal to something, ID is equal to something, these all are your attributes of that particular web element. Now note that a web element can have either no attributes or as many attributes as it possibly can. Also note that a web element, like the web element your div, can also have web elements inside of it, such as your input and span. Now the way you can see this is, you can see div starts over here and it ends here, and in between your div you have got input and span. So like that. Now for those who are completely new to HTML, a few pointers. Whenever you see an input tag, it basically is used when a user wants to enter something into a web page. So this can be basically buttons, text boxes, checkboxes, your password fields, etc, etc. There's a whole list of it. So when you're entering something into the web page, it basically is going to be an input. Your buttons can also be your input or a button tag. So both of it will be should work for buttons. Now when you have drop downs is basically select. When you have links is basically an anchor tag. Now text area. So when you have a text box having more than one line is basically the text area. Then we have already seen labels, okay, and span. So span is basically used to group elements together. They can be also used as labels. So when you want to group 2-3 elements together, you can use a span. You can also use a div. So div will give you a bit more features over span. You can put images into a particular web page by the image tag. So if you're looking out for images, you have to look out for the image tag. Piece of paragraph, your page title. So we have not looked at this. So when you open up an application like this, you have your page title printed right here above called as orange HRM. The other way you can view in your HTML is if you scroll on top and you go to head, and in that you will see title is equal to orange HRM. So this is your page title. Also the thing is your HTML file is basically a text file, and when your browser reads it, it converts it into a document structure like this, where you can expand and contract. Okay, this is basically called as your DOM structure. So a text file is converted to a DOM structure, which is then converted to your web page as you see here. It's not important from Selenium point of view, but just do make a note from the interview questions point. Now that said, we have tables, okay, which we'll be learning earlier. They consist of tr, which is rows, and td, which is basically your cells or test data or table data. And then finally you got list, either is unordered or ordered, which is specified by ul and li. Now this is just a few common ones. If you want the complete list, I'm giving the link below of the HTML reference page of W3 schools, and if you go through this, you will be able to view all of the tags which are basically available in an HTML file. So there are a whole lot of them, like we have got ul, li, etc. So whatever you have seen and we have not seen, you will find them right here. So with that said, I think it should be okay for today's tutorial for all of the 5 locators till tag name, as well as your click and your send keys. In the next tutorial, we will be looking at what are drop downs and how to work with multiple elements together. If you have any questions in today's tutorial, do comment below. I will help you out. If you like this series on Selenium, do show your support by liking and sharing this video and subscribing to my channel. Thank you all for watching.